Please welcome solver Vanessa Castaneda Gill, CEO, Social Cipher, and solver Sanskriti Dawle, CEO, Thinkerbell Labs, and moderator Eliza Berg, lead, Learning and Solv-Ed Communities, MIT Solv.
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? Great, great. Well, I am joined by two wonderful solver teams here, Sanskriti and Vanessa, who are part of our Re-Engaging Learners cohort. And they're working on including learners in really, really important ways in their work. So let's jump right in. Vanessa is designing video games for neurodivergent youth, and Sanskriti by helping more people to become Braille literate. So over the past year, I would love to just start and hear from you both. What has the growth and success of your organizations meant for the communities that you work with? And also just tell us, what have you been up to? We'll start with Sanskriti.
Right. Thanks, Eliza. I'd like to share an anecdote. So I've been working in the field of Braille literacy and specifically building technology to make that more scalable and accessible for about a decade now, been more than 9 years. And every time I pass through airport security, whatever prototype I'm carrying is always flagged saying, okay, hey, what is this? What are you carrying? Why does it have a pointy stylus with it, etc.? And that's basically been almost my entire adult life. And now, last year when we came on Shark Tank India, my entire team, whenever we fly anywhere in India, the airport security recognizes our product before we don't even have to explain anything. And that kind of awareness around assistive technology, around the kind of potential that having the right foundational literacy and numeracy can unlock, mainstreaming those conversations at regular families' dining tables. I think that's the biggest change that I've seen happen in the past 1 year in terms of mainstreaming those conversations. What does it mean, for somebody to be Braille literate? What does it mean for them? I think a lot more stories are coming up of how our students are using the technology and the stories told in their words. So having that be a part of our collective mainstream consciousness is a huge, huge step towards changing perceptions. Yeah.
Great. And Vanessa.
Yeah. So also starting with a little bit of an anecdote. Also, hi, I'm excited to be here. I was diagnosed with autism and ADHD when I was 14, and I had a lot of difficulty with the stereotypes and went through a lot of mental health issues. Number one, just because I didn't have many resources in understanding my diagnosis, and on top of that, there just really wasn't representation that I fit into. And so really what I set out to do with my team in making Social Cipher was giving youth this safe, judgment-free zone to understand social interactions in their own way and to be able to embrace their identities and ultimately to make what I would have needed at that age, at that 10 to 15 age range. And I think we've been doing that, which has been exciting. I mean, we've grown to over 220 schools and therapy centers in 6 countries now. We've been able to, partner with the Lego Foundation, which has been just unreal. And I think the coolest part is that I am constantly able to see these neurodivergent youth lighting up when they see our main character, Ava, who is autistic, deal with the same challenges or think the same way that they do. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's me. We even have students that are replacing their name with Ava's because they just resonate so closely. And I think the other cool thing is that neurotypical youth and teachers are learning so much more about neurodiversity and able to create much stronger bonds and relationships and build that trust.
Awesome. Thank you both. So also another question for you, Vanessa, going off of that, can you tell us a little bit about how you have worked with neurodivergent youth to design this game, and particularly around the social emotional learning component of it as well?
Most definitely. So with our neurodivergent youth, really, it starts from the very beginning. When we're an episodic series, and each of our game episodes focuses on a different social emotional theme, from trying new things to trust. And it's all of our social emotional themes are based on our community. We really just go out and ask neurodivergent youth, like, what's the hardest thing for you to learn? We ask their teachers, we ask their parents, and we ask neurodivergent adults as well, just what help they need. And it really starts there. And then, of course, the playtesting process is very extensive. We're constantly testing with hundreds of neurodiverse youth and just really trying to understand from their expertise and lived experience what they need.
Awesome. And similar question for you, Sanskriti. Tell us a little bit about the design process and any sort of redesign that needs to go into working across different languages and different contexts. And you just launched in the United States, which is great. But yeah, tell us a little bit about that and how it works.
Well, Braille is a script. So just like English and French and German, they all have pretty much the same Roman script. And so if you learn how to read ABC, you'll be able to recognize the characters in French, even if you can't read French. So similarly, Braille has 6 dots, sometimes 8 dots per character. And every country and every language has their own Braille code. So we have different content localization, but that is translation plus contextualization. So in English, for example, I'd say A for apple. But in Hindi, you don't say sir, say sab. You don't use the exact same object. You don't draw on the same structure to build up your idea of the alphabet. So a lot of those things also we work with local experts. In the US, we've partnered with American Printing House, which is a 150-year-old organization based in Kentucky. And this is what they do. They work with children and teachers all over the country to deliver the best educational aids. So our US variant, Polly, has actually, it has US accent English, first of all. Then it has phonics in terms of how to teach the actual alphabet. Then there are, I think, Jack Hartman audio songs, which I'm told are very, very popular in the US. And in fact, the US redesigned, the contextualization has turned out to be such a huge success that our first batch of 400 has been sold out in just last 1 week. So there is a lot of contextualization that goes in for that.
That's awesome. Final question, because time is flying by. What advice do you have for aspiring social innovators, and your peers that are here today, that you would leave for everyone before we close? Maybe start with Vanessa.
Yeah, I can start. I think the biggest thing is to start with lived experience. Make sure you have it on your team, you have it in yourself, and that you are constantly talking to your community. I think including the voices of lived experience and of those that you hope to serve or that you are serving is absolutely crucial, whether that's in testimonial surveys, having folks come in and vouch for you. I think that you can't build a successful product without having those folks that are experiencing the challenges of the community you're trying to serve. So that's always my thing.
All right. I'd just like to say, don't hold back from dreaming big. I think that's been my one takeaway after spending this week with Solver teams from all around the world. The world is changing. We are changing it, and so there's no dream too big for anyone who's looking at even applying, because if you get in, you'll get all of this help and support that I'm sure everyone's gone through, but most importantly, the community of like-minded folks that are just as passionate and crazy to some extent to work on the things that they're fired by. So yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, I want to thank you both so much. And I also want to put it out there for everyone who's either watching at home or wherever you are and in the audience to get to know you two better if you haven't already, and also check out the Re-Engaging Learners Challenge cohort. They're really incredible Solver teams that are working to support learners all around the globe. And we're so, so excited to have them as a part of our community. And thank you both.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.